You are now listening to Nexxlegacy Radio, a radio station for the people.
Welcome one, welcome all to Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Brandon in the building, and thank you for all the people out there listening live. Live radio still gets a lot of love, and not only that, not just in the United States. Always got to give a shout out to all the people out there overseas listening to the live broadcast as we continue to not just level up and push numbers for all the people out there that is wanting to listen to live talk radio, music, whatever it is that we do at this particular time, interviews, obviously. But I got to make sure that I send some love to, my Canadian folks out there listening live. Germany is listening, and you know what? I have some South Africa folks out there that is tuned in. And obviously the United States, everybody out there listening from all coasts, mid, west, east, everywhere is listening. Thank you for being a part of the show. And also thank you for people that will be playing this later via podcast. So, right back to it. My guest, he is an author. He has a lot of stories to tell when it comes to just his journey in general, being an author, father, coach, and a proud Air Force vet. This guy will give you his bio and give you his journey and his story, and I'm looking forward to asking this man a ton of questions, and we can take questions, all that good stuff. You can follow this man on IG, Instagram at Tony Snow SR, and definitely make sure that you go check out Embrace Fatherhood. And the title itself, being a dad myself, it just touched me to the core. It's about four characters that endure different life challenges, attempting to be fathers while exposing real-life scenarios that will captivate your attention. The book exposes topics such as generational curses, past childhood trauma, co-parenting, child support, dark side of parenthood, and other topics that are happening within the households but often do not get enough attention. The mission of this book is to help fathers embrace fatherhood, creating a network of resources for those that often feel lost enduring such obstacles. Follow this man, support this man, buy the book, get game, be educated. Tony Snow is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Blessed, man. Blessed. How you doing?
Man, amazing, man. First of all, man, listen, from the bottom of my soul, man, the music that you played was so dope. I mean, it was so dope. Secondly, man, I just appreciate you having me here, man. I don't take this opportunity for granted. So thank you, my brother, and I appreciate the warm introduction. That was love.
Man, not only I appreciate that, wholeheartedly, but I appreciate you for putting, your journey out there. And I think a lot of us, not just as fathers, pending, potential fathers, people out there that's thinking about being a parent and a father, just knowing that there's a lot of stuff on tables that, is either not discussed or talked about. It's good to be able to have you on. So I got so many questions, man. I want to start off first and talk to you about just a little bit about the book and your journey to this done. So being an author, I know it's just as hard as doing everything else that's under the sun. So what inspired you to actually, go the route as far as being an author and putting this out there for people?
Go ahead. What was the last part again? I'm sorry.
No, what inspired you to actually get, just put it out there as far as being an author, getting everything, that you can be able to put together, and what inspired you on that path to become one?
Man, just sharing the truth. I think we live at a time now to where people need help, and I think we're very, very shy about asking for help. What inspired me to write the book is that I lost a friend to a suicide. I've seen a lot of men just try to hide the truth. I mean, the truth is we're hurting. We're crying out for help, trying to save our own kids. But, there's some things that are put in place that kind of makes that process difficult. What inspired me was watching the movie Boys in the Hood. Character in the movie, whose name is Ricky, he loses his life due to senseless acts of murder, right? What if Ricky had a father? What if Doughboy had a father, right? So I picked up on those dynamics very, very quickly, just being a young man. Then you got another movie called Waiting to Exhale, which is the female version, the woman version of how women feel about, men that are not taking care of business, right? Mm-hmm. So with that being the case, there's 4 dynamic women, 4 beautiful black women just expressing their pain, right? So what I did with this book was I said, okay, I get it. I hear you guys. But what if I show you guys the exact same pain for a father's perspective? And that's why I call the book Embrace Fatherhood. I think it tells our story, how we feel unloved, how we feel unprotected, because, we're being denied access to being a father, which is why we're hurting, which is why we're in so much pain, which is why we don't trust. And it answers a lot of questions. But through the book, you hear us, expressing ourselves because, as you know, and, we're not allowed to be emotional. We're told to be a man and be quiet. But, it's 2020. We've already had some losses. We've had some things that have been discussed. I'll let everybody else go first. And before we close the year, man, we're going to discuss it too. So I'm just here to have a voice for the voiceless fathers out there. I think we're crying out, man, begging people to let us be fathers, man. But, no one understands the urgency of us trying to save our own kids. And I get it. I swear I get it. So that's why you got to get that book so we can have this conversation as grown folks would say.
You had your own personal journey and your obstacles that you had to face in life in general. In addition to, what you're doing for other people, you had to learn in a lot of different ways yourself. So tell the listeners out there, how has that journey been for you? And then what hit you to the point? And I know you mentioned, Boys in the Hood and some of the other things that trigger certain things about what you wanted to do for yourself, but what were some of the other things as far as not just becoming a parent, but other obstacles that you faced in your own personal life?
Man, that's a very loaded question, man. I mean, I think I've had to overcome a lot of obstacles. I think this journey has been an amazing experience. I'll just start with the childhood trauma of just sincerely growing up in Louisiana. You have to really make a decision. Are you going to stand up for yourself or are you going to get bullied? And, of course, you got to make a decision to stand up for yourself or, that's not a good deal. I think also playing sports, I think sometimes coaches are gatekeepers. And I think as a 14-year-old male, I didn't understand leadership. And how could I? Mm-hmm. Right? My father was in and out of my life. He's an amazing man. I love him to my core. But he's the greatest man still I don't know. And, of course, being in the military, it took me going overseas, living in different countries to love myself because I never felt like I was loved at home. So, I mean, this journey, man, has been an amazing one. I'm a father first before everything else, and I love my babies. I thought I was crazy because I go hard for mine. I go real hard for mine, man. My kids have pushed me to an insane determination. I've earned some titles because I really don't like bragging about it, but they pushed me to that level. They pushed me here to this book. I'm madly in love with being a father. It's the dopest experience ever. But I understand how guys sometimes walk away because no one else cares about how we feel about this concept, man. So I hear them. I got them. I am my brother's keeper on so many different levels. I am my sister's keeper as well, man. But we got to be grown about this conversation. So you got to get that book.
Right. And definitely I need people to go out there and go grab it. Tony Snow's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and one of the things that, was part of your bio and, and it's part of the book, and people out there, I'm telling you, I bought the book. I just want people to go out there and just go and support what this man is all about. You mentioned, in the book, expose the topic, like I mentioned, like generational curses. How has that been a part of your life for yourself? Because I'll tell you a little bit about me later, and I'm sure others are probably feeling the same way. Because I believe in generational curses.
Right.
How does that affect you? And if you felt that with your kids, what are you trying to do to break that curse with your kids?
For example, man, my mom and pops, unfortunately they didn't finish college, but I always knew I was smart. I think they definitely stressed the importance of education. So, I mean, of course, me, I went and got a master's degree, right? I'm so ambitious with it, man. Like, my sister finished, I think, 4 months before me, and I was like, man, she cannot beat me to this graduate degree. But that's just my competitive edge.
Right.
So that's one example of a generational curse that I wanted to break. You know, as far as, like, me not being involved with my kids, you know, I don't have those memories with my parents. I think my mom was trying to hold it down, being a single mom, working all the time, so, you know, I didn't get that experience. I think my pops was dealing with his own things, but, you know, it's cool. Like, I was on my own, and I think what I gravitated to most was sports and really bad kids. You know, it was something about other bad kids that I felt at peace with, because I felt like we were both misunderstood. You know, we both didn't have outlets. But sports definitely changed me. I committed myself to it. I remember in 8th grade writing down some goals, and then, you know, getting to high school to where leadership was something that I didn't understand at all, because, of course, I didn't grow up in a leadership environment. So one generational curse is, number one, education. Number two, economics. You know, it definitely wasn't discussed at the family table. And when it was discussed, it was discussed in a very negative manner. Like, I felt like I was the reason why my parents were fighting all the time. You know, but, you know, I definitely have learned that, you know, there were some things not stated that was probably not stated for the betterment of me, but, you know, I asked for the truth, you know, because I didn't understand as a 15-year-old kid, like, what was going on.
Right.
You know, like, you know, just curses like that, man. Like, economics is a big one, and then, like I said, just education. So my kids will not have those challenges because it's already broken. The last one is just kind of be like people of integrity, you know, how to sincerely follow their dreams and goals and not let lack of resources be the reason why. You know, I have a daughter who is an amazing girl, man, and you know what? That's my baby. So, you know, I got to make this right for her, man. I have a son who, I love basketball, and I'm not saying that he has to play, but at least he can be the water boy. As long as he's next to me, I don't care, because he's not trying to save me, right? I mean, as long as he's right there with me, go and fold the towels up, son. It's cool with me. Now, you know, because that's my man's, and he's my man's whether he plays ball or not. That was my way of escaping my pain. So I just really, I'm in love with being a father. I love everything about it, from making them breakfast in the morning to just being next to them, man. It's so amazing. But we got to have this conversation, because my experience is my experience, and I think that it's going to be a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. But for the rest of my fathers out there that don't have a voice, I got them, you know?
I think yours and mine is a lot similar. You know, my mom was, you know, the backbone of the household, trying to hold it down. 3 sons, stuff like that. Dad was in and out, but he wasn't there, and that's one of the generational curses that I feel like, you know, as a father to my now 18-year-old daughter, I felt like was broken, because, like you just want to be there. You want to experience everything that you want to do, the opposite of what. You know, for me, the opposite of what my dad did, which was nothing. I wanted to be more than nothing, and just making sure that I was able to just be there for different functions, events, and just a one-on-one conversation about life and growth and everything that we needed to do against the grain in this world we live in. I think it's important, and I think a lot of people miss the fact. And dads out there that's listening, and they're trying to figure out, like, you know, how to navigate through it. Because of, you know, I didn't want to say, hey, you know what, because my dad wasn't there, I'm not going to be there for mine. I wanted to be the opposite. But some people had that, you know, stigma of just being, you know, okay, well, this is just how normal is. And when people say that, like, if people, and I've heard people say that, and, you know, and FYI, and just keep that in mind, right before we got on the show, a lot of conversations in the chat room that we have on Nexxlegacy Radio, it's, you know, by the hundreds, and so many people was looking forward to you being on the show. A lot of people were talking about just, you know, they were used to seeing their dad not be there. So then it was okay for a dad to not be there. So when you hear people say that, what do you say to those people?
I say, first and foremost, their perspective is always correct. And here's what I'll explain by that. they're not wrong because that's what they saw. They saw fatherless homes, and they thought that was the normal. Guess what? That's not normal. I don't think it was set up that way. Here's what I'll say about fathers that walk away, because I know a lot of them. I understand why. I do, because of the games that mothers play. Let's be honest about it, man. Like, they play some games, and they really creative at them. I mean, you're talking about Uno and Monopoly Kings.
Right.
I mean, Uno, you switch up the cards real quick. Monopoly, you really trying to own the game through finances. So
right.
We're not going to go into details, but you can pretty much put two and two together with Monopoly.
True.
Trying to own everything, right? So, is this happening? Absolutely. Or will this happening? Absolutely. But like I said, who's going to be a voice for the voiceless? I am. So I'm trying to be a partner with it. I don't know everything. I don't. I'll be lying. I read a lot of books. If you go to my page, you'll see my little book collection. I mean, I'm a nerd at heart, and so is my daughter. My son, we got some ways to go, but he's trying, and I give him a straight E for effort. But
there you go.
But listen, he is the man when it comes to recording stuff. Like, he has a mind for that. He will watch YouTube for 2 hours straight. And for me, guess what? I'm in there watching it too. I have no clue what he's talking about. But guess what? That's my man's. As long as he let me do my thing, I'm cool with it, because I'm embracing fatherhood. So, I mean, it's just small stuff like that, man, for me. But I understand why fathers walk away. I want the people that's listening to understand that that's not normal. But what you did not ask is, what happened? Like, did you ever get the details? Some people don't want to know the details. But me, I had to know the details. Like, yo, I'm over here doing X, Y, Z, and got, this and that. I'll share you a little small gem, right? Because I want people to understand how crazy I am about my kids. Do you know Johnny Cochran?
Yep.
No? Okay. So, Johnny, you do?
Yep.
Or you don't?
No, Johnny Cochran, the ex-lawyer, passed away.
Right. Okay, so great question. So I was trying to become him just to try to save my kids. Now, I don't have a lawyer background, and I'm not a lawyer, clearly. I'm a sports guy at heart that loves his kids. But I was up at 1 o'clock in the morning putting on my Johnny Cochran mask trying to save my kids.
Love it. I love it.
You feel me? Wow,
I love it.
So I'm serious about my kids, man. I don't play no games. And guess what? Lawyers cost a lot of money.
What's that?
But if you can get a book and you can watch some YouTube videos like you watching basketball.
There you go.
I'm in there really studying the statutes of the state. Like, what? Let me write this down. So, yeah, man. How hard
but you know what?
Kids, go ahead.
And Tony, look, you said something that's a mouthful, and all these people out there got to pay attention. You would do anything for your kids. If I need to be a lawyer, if I need to be a doctor, if I needed to read up on what I need to read up in order for things to be right, it'll be right. And that's the effort that I feel like a lot of fathers need to pay attention to. It's not about, you know what I'm saying, everybody's trying to strive and get money and do what they can in order for them to, pay their bills and grow. But it's not all about the money. It's all about making sure that your kid is comfortable, you're comfortable, and they see your effort in helping them grow. And I think that's the basis of what a lot of fathers and what fatherhood is, right?
Right, but let's go back to the voiceless, right? We said that it was normalized for other people to see people without fatherless homes. Remember this conversation?
Right.
So when it's seen as normal, you don't know any better. So it's normalized for them to see homes without fathers. I'm here to say that that's not normal, first and foremost. I'm a man that loves his kids, right? But, like I said, I understand now why even my own father walked away. Why other fathers walk away, because of the game that mothers play. It's 2020. We've already let everybody else go first. I let everybody go first. And you know what I mean by that. And I don't care about that stuff, but I do care about the voiceless men who have mental health issues now because of the games mothers play.
Right.
Like, we're trying to save our kids, man. And guess why Guess why they don't care? Because they went through the same thing, because it's normal. They're like, well, I went through that, so it must be normal. No, it's not normal. You know, your son and daughter deserve to have a healthy relationship with their father. And if we do that, I know that the world can be a better place. But, you know, are we going to be grown about it, or are we going to just keep talking about it? Because I know right now, if I ask 10 fathers who are not with, you know, who are not in a romantic relationship with the mother of their kids, how's that going? You'll be surprised what I hear, man. And trust me, I got a nice way of talking. You know, they got a mouthful to say. So I just said it for them. It took me 4.5 years to get this message right. I'm so thankful for the support system that I had in place, man, because it's definitely been a journey, man. But we got to talk about this.
Let me and Tony Snow's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. Make sure that you go follow this man on Instagram, Tony Snow SR. And look, chat room is blowing up. I got questions regarding what a lot of people are saying right now because they're feeling what you're saying, and I think you and I are going to know this answer to this question. So I'm going to give you a scenario of one because you mentioned the games women play or the things that women do. So I'm going to throw one out there, and if you can throw more out there, please do for the listeners out there. So my scenario, and like I said, I'm all the way open. So, you know, break up with my daughter's mom. My daughter was 2 at the time. She's 18 now, but she's 2 at the time. And, you know, it was a situation where I felt like, you know what, hey, we coordinate, we communicate when it comes to time spent with my daughter. And there was 1 week it was cool, 1 week it wasn't. And then the next week it wasn't cool because she was feeling a certain way, I guess. So there was no way that I would be able to do that. So playing games with time management and all that stuff played a heavy role into me just saying, you know what, let me use the court system to be able to figure this out because I can't play this type of game when it comes to time with my daughter. So what do you think about that? And also, what are other things that you have either heard, experienced, or seen throughout that time?
Love the question because I got so much energy for it.
Bring it.
Listen, man. Let's keep it 100 on this phone tonight, man. We know that's going on with the time management and the game playing. Stop playing games with people, kids, just the kids. Listen, if you're upset with me, like you can always like leave a note on my car so I can read it and laugh. But don't play with the kids. Like just put it in my Just put it in my car. Say, look, I wrote you something, and talk your stuff there. But still give my kids, right?
Right.
Yes, they do this. Those scenarios are definitely in the book. For example, let me give you an example, right?
Okay.
If a man right now wants to save his own babies because, let me switch it up so it can make sense for people. If a mother wants to save her babies right now today because the father is AKA crazy, she could drive to another state. Let's just say she's traveling from Louisiana to the state of Texas, right? She can go over there to the state of Texas. She can set up shop. She can tell the cops, hey, he's crazy. Please protect me from me. Please protect me and my babies, right? What are the things the cops are going to say? They're going to say, absolutely. Now,
let's go
give
get
me the exact same scenario, right? And then let's switch to gender. A male can try to take his kids to another state from Louisiana to the state of Texas. And he can call the same cops and say, hey, I'm trying to save my babies. She crazy, right? What do you think the cops are going to say? They're going to say, if you don't take them kids back to Louisiana, this is a civil matter.
Yep.
So, strategic, games, gender. Come on, man. We just talking right now. But people know what I'm talking about.
Yep, absolutely.
That just one. So there's so many scenarios in the book. Go ahead.
But what you just said is what a lot of people are going through right now. On top of, you know, not just time dictating the time. You know what I'm saying? Letting money be the reason why kids are being. You know, you can pick up your kid if you give me such and such and such. That's you know, hey, listen, that's you know, is it? Am I lying? No, we truth telling because.
Man,
Go
listen,
ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I got some stuff that'll go viral, but I don't get down like that, man, because I think that we have to learn how to be mature adults. Well, listen, man, yeah, that happened too, and I didn't have the experiences. I've heard of fathers with the experiences to where, yeah, but I will say this to fathers, man, because we gotta be grown in 2020 since it's, we gotta be grown in 2020. We did the crime. Let's just be honest now. We did the crime, and I understand the crime because when we was growing up,
right,
depending on wherever you grew up in, the OGs told us to have a good time, and we did. Right. Let's just be honest. We had like, we got it in. We got it in, man. Like, let's be real. Like, I don't know what none of them say. They like, they had a good time. I had a good time, but you gotta pay the fine now. That's a fine you got to pay for that. Now, what's the crime? You didn't do your research. Well, what's the research, Snow? You didn't ask her who she was. Clearly.
There you go.
And maybe she
there
changed
you go.
the time. But if you just took the time, start with the neck up, not the waist down, man, we'll be having a different conversation right now. So you got to pay that fine, boss. And it ain't cool, but you got to pay that fine, boss. Because you did that crime, man, and it don't get no other way than that. So we're going to keep a buck.
Right.
We're going to take accountability, but we're going to still ask our questions, too.
There you go. There you go. Tony Snow's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. Make sure you go ahead and follow this man on IG. Hit him up on Instagram at Tony Snow SR. And look, a lot of people are, because we want to make sure we make it perfectly clear. At the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that we air out as much as we can air out when it comes to just spotlighting certain things about, that fathers go through, not just from our perspective, but, a lot of people are living true to life form right now as far as what's going on. In addition to that, past childhood trauma. When you think about that, because it's in the book, and, it's part of the topics course as far as that goes, when you think about past childhood trauma, does it affect your current, relationship status, friendship status, work status, etc.? Does that play a role into, your own self-development as a adult growing up?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
For you, everybody.
Man, listen. Man, yes, childhood trauma plays a role with your development, especially in adulthood. I mean, put it this way, right? In the neighborhood, if you're talking to somebody, you always speak first, right?
Mm-hmm.
When a person doesn't speak back, what do you automatically assume?
Speak first.
If they don't speak back, what do you automatically assume?
Oh, well, he don't, or she don't. They not paying attention, or they don't want to pay attention.
But what if they've been talking to you the whole time, for the last 8 months? Then what would you think?
I'm thinking if you listening to me, or if I'm hearing you talk, and I feel like I'm ignored, like you're ignoring me, you're not paying attention.
Right. So, as far as the trauma from childhood trauma, I think it definitely transcends. I think we used to call them codes, hey, you don't do this according to this code. I'm learning that as you elevate in life, some of those codes fade away, energy is one of those codes. If a person has bad energy, man, you got to learn how to take energy at all costs. And we got to do that as adults. You know what I mean? As kids, we don't understand. As adults, you understand somebody that got some bad energy. Protect yourself. Just small stuff like that, man. It's something that, as a child, you were not allowed to express, hey, I don't want to be around this person because it makes me feel this way. As an adult, you got every right to say, you can't be around me, and this is why you can't be around me, and not care what someone else's opinion about your space and your energy is,
And I agree. When it comes to past childhood trauma, just as an example that's thrown out in the chat room, and even for myself going through certain similar things, there's a lot of, stuff that I have as far as, pent up frustration, anger, regret, loneliness. You want to mix it up as far as, abandonment, all that stuff as far as not having a dad around. And does it affect certain things around you? Absolutely. You may shield, you may hold your situation and not let your kids see the anger and frustration. You said it earlier to start the show, Tony, that, you know, sometimes we suppress all this for the sake of just trying to be, you know, the man and handle our business and, you know, not, you know, cry or have those moments where you're just like broken and you just want to break down. But in general, that's always going to cause, and I feel like everyone, you know, even when you have the best of situations or relationships or whatever, but, you know, family life, there's going to be certain triggers of trauma in your life that's going to affect what you do as a parent or as a person.
Right, man. I think, man, listen, man, the last couple of weeks have been brutal for me, man, trying to finish this book. And I didn't understand why. I had a Killmonger moment. I think everybody has seen the movie Black Panther, man, and I think this kid was training his whole life to have a moment. You know what I'm saying? This book is my moment.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm crying on the inside, man, because I've been crying out there for a long time. And I'm just like, yo, if fathers don't speak up with me, I'm still alone. You feel me?
Wow.
Because I know they feel this way. So, I mean, I had a real Killmonger moment where I felt misunderstood. And I'm tired of feeling that way. I'm tired of everybody else telling me I'm tripping because of what I want. And when you remember when he was like, you remember it was a scene, man. He was like, yo, like, hey, auntie, like, yo, like,
oh yeah,
like I deserve to be here. That's how I feel about my kids, man. Like yo, they're my kids. What you mean? No. And I think a lot of fathers have that same feeling with that with the Wakanda thing when he's like he pulled his lip down, like, yo, they're my kids. I belong here.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's symbolic in that way to me. But as a leader, and I do consider myself a leader because I learned in high school basketball that I wasn't the best leader because I'm so emotional about winning that, you know, it's going to get done one way or the other. But when you're a leader, man, you're also responsible for uplifting others. And I think this book does a great job of uplifting guys. I think any guy that knows me, you can talk to me. I'll talk to you for an hour about nothing. Just because I ain't never had friends before. And when I do get friends, it's pretty cool to have that experience. So, I mean, I'm here for them, man. And if they want to have some real talk, you know, the Embrace Fatherhood podcast is coming. We're going to share some gems with the world, and we're going to just make our story known. And we're going to put it on film, man. I'm going to already speak that into existence. I mean, this is a purpose. You know, I didn't just do this to say I wrote a book. You know, I wanted guys to have the mental health awareness that they needed, man, and be the best version of father they can become. I'm trying to be the GOAT, baby. Greatest father of all time. I'm going to be the GOAT. I'm going to speak it into existence. And whoever's competing with me, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
I'm on
Tony Snow's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. Embrace Fatherhood is the book title. And I'm going to change course for a quick minute because people in the chat room is just loving the conversation flow. And they're having a conversation mixed in there talking about certain laws for certain states for fathers that's, that you and I both know, state of California, wherever, is just different. It's different. Dads versus, and the name everybody talking about is custodial parent. They're talking the name and the title of a custodial parent. You can share 50-50, but you're still going to be labeled that. And we've gone throughout our lifetimes to a name or attached to certain things. But being a parent, to me, personally, I've always had a problem with that title or a piece of paper when I'm sharing custody and it's documented as such that I'm labeled as a custodial. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to go ahead and just keep it off the rip. Let's listen to the certain term analogy when people say things, right? When you hear the word single father, what do you hear? Single father, right? What that means is that the mother is absent, right or wrong?
Right. Single means by yourself.
Right, but it doesn't mean she's absent. It just means that he's doing it on his time. Now, you hear the word single mother. What do you automatically assume? That she's a what?
She don't have no she ain't got nobody else. That's it.
Right. So the titles that we're talking about here are just titles. Don't mean anything. So when you talk about co-parenting and why people can't co-parent it, cannot co-parent, in my belief system, I think titles blinds us from the truth. Like, it takes a village to raise kids. Why are we allowing titles such as co-parent of this, co-parent of that, or custodial parent of this? Why are we allowing these small titles to defeat the purpose of just raising our babies? Because they are the beneficiaries of our love. And I think it takes a village to raise the kids. I mean, I'm on some stuff like this, man. Like, whoever she dates, I need to know his favorite bottle of alcohol so that he always good. You know what I mean? Because it's not about us anymore. It's about making sure that our kids, we have some, amazing kids, make sure our kids are always good. And like I said, I think my situation is still a work in progress. It's been a journey, man, but I trust it should come around in time. But I know for other guys, man, they got a long way to go. Now, I got 10 years in the game, baby. That's compound interest. I can save you the long version. Just rock with me. Trust me. You know what I mean? And I know how expensive these attorneys are, but we're going to do it together, man. I'm a basketball player, so I really believe in teamwork. I think I've developed some leadership skills. I'm still working on those. I'm still trying to read as many books as I can to make sure that I'm not misunderstood by the fathers themselves, man, because they're going to be mad at me when I tell them, man, just do this. But I'm not going to put my energy there. I'm just tell them, look, 10 years in the game, maybe you got 30, but we wouldn't be talking if we weren't talking. So let's get this done. You know what I mean? Let's get this done, man. And I'm going to ask for as much help as I can. You know what I mean? But I'm here for the fathers, man. I work for you guys. I mean that.
And I think it's important for people, for fathers, to be able to have that, certain area that they can be able to go to, turn to, log in, chat with on occasions, because there's so many fathers who's feeling the pressures of trying to be able to navigate through how to handle certain things. And, people have, like, in chat rooms now, people are like, you know what, I'm so tired of my daughter's mom because, I'm struggling trying to find work, but, she still won't let me see my child because I'm not working. And I'm going to all the interviews that I can, and it's hard during this COVID time at least to be able to navigate through it, you know what I'm saying? Or I got laid, and I got one that said they got laid off. And then once he got laid off, that's when the visitation stops. And
let me help them
all
out.
These people that's mixed in. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish it so I can help them out when you get done. I'm gonna help them out real quick.
No, I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just closing by saying that you have so many different scenarios that tie to it right now where they're frustrated. There's so many dads who want to be dads that's frustrated with a situation like we just broke down. So get them your thoughts, and all the listeners out there that'll be listening to this later too.
Now, this is for the fathers. I'm going to keep this real PG-13 related because, we global, right? So, listen, man, listen.
Right.
Listen, my brothers, listen. Here's my spin on the guys that are beating themselves down because they lack resources and how she makes you feel about yourself, okay? Here's the real deal. If both parties were financially stable before the crime happened, you guys wouldn't be having this conversation. So she cannot be upset with you for what she lacks from herself. Does this make sense? So if I sleep with a woman and I'm mad at her for not having money, right? Am I right for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Mm-mm.
So if she's upset with you for not able to be financially stable when she wasn't herself, stop beating yourself up over that. Like I said,
right.
We're gonna be grown. It's 2020. Don't do that to yourselves. Been there, done that. I have had it to where I'll beat myself up because I'm feeding my kids. They're not even complaining, but her voice is in my mind like, you ain't doing enough. But it had nothing to do with her. It was just her lack of herself. So let me help you out. Get the book. We're going to talk about it. Your lack of resources don't make you a lack of man. You just ain't figured out your little niche yet, right? But right now, if I paid you $300,000 to be miserable, you would turn that check down to take $60,000 to be happy with your kids. So don't get the numbers confused, right? Don't get the numbers confused. So let's get the book so that you can have a sincere, valued opinion about what you read about, so that we can be grown, so we can make the best movie for our voice. Like I said, I am my brother's keeper in all facets, man. I got y'all. For real.
Amen to that. Tony Snow is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. Follow this man on Instagram at Tony Snow SR. And okay, next flip the chapter on this one and go in on child support. It gets a lot of flack from a lot of people as far as how much they should pay, how much they should not pay. If it's 50-50,
right.
then it's then I don't need as much as I need to. Or if I have more than she do, then I don't need to pay as much as. So I'm gonna tell you my scenario mixed in with a few of these other people in general, and this was like right around the time I wanted more time. So I was like, you know what, I'm still gonna overpay. The court said I should pay this, but I'm gonna still overpay. You know why? Because I'm just gonna make sure that the extra that I pay is gonna be for my own daughter's college fund, child, stuff that she has when she turns 18 or something like that. I had a plan. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a plan because for whatever reason, either if it's finances that, they can't pay, or, they feel like, all right, well, she's gonna wind up spending it on her and she's not gonna spend it on my child. So you run with so many different scenarios when it comes to that. So what are your thoughts when it comes to child support? When you say that, I got more because the chat room is full of different scenarios and questions.
They ready, ain't it? They ready. This child support.
Man, they've been ready.
Hey, listen. Tell them they can hear me. Hey, I got a chapter right now called Real Child Support just for them, man. I feel y'all. And trust me, we dropping some bars in this conversation where we like, yo, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about I got y'all, man. Listen, here's my real take on child support, man. Here's my real take on that, man. I'll give you the short version and the long version. Short version. If you really want to know what kind of, situation you're in, before the baby's been born, go ahead and write up how much she gonna need. Ask her. Go ahead and ask her. Say, listen, I know you
never thought about that. Interesting.
Right, because we be thinking with the wrong one. Go ahead and get it on right. The moment she gets pregnant and you tell her, listen, if you love me, you need to go ahead and sign the paperwork that says, as of this day, if something goes wrong, this is the amount of money I want to pay. And go get that filed to court. Take care of that, because you're going to see her true intentions at that moment. Trust me. Get it out the way quick. The moment she get pregnant, go ahead and get that in writing. That's my short version. Now when time has went on, like you got like 4 years in the game, and you see some, we'll just say some inconsistent patterns, go on get it in writing to say, hey, how much it's gonna cost, because that's the price. And I just told y'all, man, because you did the crime, you had to pay this fine. But y'all think I'm just talking. So go on get that book so we can have this conversation so we can make the best movie ever for fathers, man. I'm just dropping bars. But I don't rap, though.
My man, give it solid game. Yeah, and and listen, this is one where, especially with dads, a lot of dads struggle with this because they feel like the perception is like, all right, if I give her this, it's just not. And then I think there was a law, or they were trying to get it into law. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but there was a scenario where they were trying to have the, how you have you get the child, or the woman gets child support, and they have it on one of those, kind of like one of those EBT cards, or one of those EDD cards, or whatever it is, or something like that. I don't know if it's a law in some states, but you remember they were talking about that, right?
Listen, man. I'm gonna save them that headache, man. I'm gonna save them that little headache, because they done wasted way more bread in other places, and I'm talking about fathers. They know what I'm talking about.
Right.
They know they done spent bread in other places, and I am my brother's keeper, so that's where I'm gonna keep it. But listen, man, don't put your energy there. Put your energy to making sure that you're doing everything that the court has asked you to do, number one. Number two, if she's not showing you where the money's going, guess what? You can always say, Judge, I just want to know where the money's going. Don't say nothing, but just let her show you, man. Stop talking. Stop talking. I'm trying to give you the free game. Listen. Hey, if she has not put your kids into things that, you know, and you've been paying her, then you can just ask the judge politely, like, Judge, you know, listen, I have no problem paying her clearly, but where are other funds going? Can I just get, you know, some type of feedback because my kids are saying this. I'm trying to get these guys. Man, listen. We gonna keep it the short version today because the book's the long version, right? But
there you go.
I got them, man. Listen, this is for the voiceless man that's misunderstood. I know I've been told not to cry, but we ain't gonna cry in the book. We're gonna show laugh about it. My favorite comedian of all time is the legend R.I.P. to Bernie Mac. Man, he used to always talk his truth. Man, if I could pull up one when he said, "I ain't scared of you," you know what? Man, that's how I feel right now. I'm in that moment, man. Like,
I ain't
scared
of you, motherfucker.
You know what I'm trying to talk about, man. I may post it on IG. So I'm just talking. Hey, man, that's all. That's all I'm doing right now, man. I know you feel it, man. So
I got you.
I'm just doing that for the fathers, man. Listen, this is the voiceless fathers national anthem, man. We're gonna really talk our trash today, and we're gonna talk it in the book, but respectfully, man, because we love women, man.
For sure.
We love women, man.
Hey, we need them like they need us at the end of the day. So, you know, we ain't gonna bash them, no doubt. But also at the end of the day, we just want to be heard. That's it. Like, fathers just want to be heard.
Fathers.
We want to grow and evolve just like everybody else. Like, you know, we do what we do. We want to see our kids grow and be happy just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a normal process. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that happen.
Man, you know these brothers don't understand that, but they do understand stats. Listen to my stats, man. Listen, I was trying to get co-parent of the decade, man. She playing with my stats, right? I'm trying to be the greatest student of all time, right? I'm trying to be the greatest father of all time, right? I'm trying to be the greatest basketball coach of all time. I'm just trying to be the greatest person of all time. I'm competing with myself. Ain't nobody in my way, but she playing with my stats on that decade thing. You know what I mean? So let's make the next age even better. Stop playing with my stats, man. I'm trying to get
I love it.
Man.
Listen, Tony, I love how you flipped it. I love how you flipped it and, like, you know what, I'm trying to be the greatest father of all time and I'm trying to be co-parent of the decade. You know what I mean? And to me, you know what I'm saying, that's just like, you know what, I'm going to still shine regardless of what she say, what she do, what she's about. Because I'm going to still take care of mine, period. No ... period. Because I'm trying to achieve those goals. You know what I mean? And to me, I think in a lot of cases, and again, make sure the book is called Embrace Fatherhood. My man Tony is giving you the short version because the long version is where? In the book. So I need y'all to go get that and support that man. But the bigger picture, too, is just making sure that a lot of people don't recognize, like, you know what, the obstacle may be the girl, but it's not even that, though. It's yourself, right? At the end of the day.
Right. You're going to test yourself when you find out how much you can go for your baby. When it was, it wasn't even no question, man. I felt like, man, for me, it was a no-brainer. It's like, that's it? I got to go be my own attorney? No problem. I got to get a degree? No problem. I got to go write a book? No problem. What else you want me to do? Because I'm not playing when it comes to my kids, man. You're not playing. Like, it's not going to go down on my watch. My daughter going to know. And my daughter dropped her book, guess what? That Generational Curses book. When my son opens up his first business, I don't care what he sells. He can sell, man. I'm telling you, man. My son can sell some beanies. He winning. He winning. So I don't care what my son do. Son, are you happy? Yeah, Pops, I'm good. All right, come on over here and eat this food, man. Come on, watch the movie now. That's what I live for, man.
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished,
man. I want my kids to understand that I love them so much, man, that I did everything I was supposed to do to ensure they had an opportunity to do whatever they wanted to do. That's all this is about for me. I don't care about nothing else.
There you go.
I like coaching because basketball is my piece.
There you go. So everybody out there in the chat room listening, people are going to be listening to it via podcast. Make sure you go ahead and follow my man, Tony Snow, on Instagram, Tony Snow SR. Make sure the book titled Embrace Fatherhood. If they go on your Instagram, are they able to get it? How are they able to get this?
You know what, man? Right now, me and the team are kind of working out the logistics of that. I ask the people to be patient with me. Once I figure it out, trust me, I'm going to post. And, I'm going to make it to where it's very, very accessible to the public. But let me figure that out. Right now, me and my team are in the process of finishing it. But I just finished writing the book literally Thursday. Shout out to my team, Lonzo, the wifey, man. They just really pushed me to a different level. So it took a lot out of me, man. It was very, very painful to finish that book. I had to call people, ask questions. I had a lot of stuff going those 2 weeks, man. But, hey, it's done now. So tonight I'm going to play a little 2K and talk my trash on there. So,
hey,
it's been a good process,
congrats
man.
on that. And because Nexxlegacy Radio has this to be able to give, and you could add this on as a bonus. I mean, I got so many Amazon gift cards. So, anybody buys the book, they get a $25 Amazon gift card. We'll go with the first 5. We do the first 5. So you can set that up, put that on your IG. Anybody that is basically, down to buy it and they show you proof of purchase, first 5 people get a $25 gift card. So basically they probably going to turn around and get it for free on Nexxlegacy, as a promotional gift to my man Tony Snow. So throwing that out there in the wind. So if you don't catch it,
I got some
make sure you go ahead and get it in.
No.
So you said this is
Air Force veteran.
Okay. And Tony, you said
this
has been yeah. And Tony, you said this has been a journey for you to be able to get this book done, and a lot of painful trips down memory lane and/or sacrifices and/or effort that you put in. And now that it's here for the people to be able to consume it, at the end of the day, blood, sweat, tears, all that. Like, how are you feeling about its completion? Like right now, tonight.
I know it's one of my best works, man. I called it a masterpiece 4 years ago. It's a masterpiece, man. Like, I put everything that I had into making sure that book represented fathers for the voiceless men. I made sure that it was the rebuttal to Waiting to Exhale. I wanted to show 4 amazing fathers being amazing fathers and still going through a process of trying to be fathers, man. So I understood why fathers walk away, and it's because sometimes mothers play games, and I expressed that. I think there's a real big urgency that fathers feel they need to save their children because they understand what happened to them. But how would women really understood? Why would they understand the urgency when it happened to them too? So I get it,
right?
So
got you.
I mean, who's gonna say the kids, man? Who's gonna say the kids? I can't save them all, man, but I can start with the fathers first. And if I help one father understand his mental health condition, so that he can go get his babies, we winning. That's all.
If you get this done, I mean, you're gonna get this done. Book is already put to bed. So you get this transformed into a movie. Who's gonna play you?
Oh, you know what, man? Oh, man. That's a great question, man. I think I'm gonna pray to God on that one because I think I'm serious, man. I mean. Because hey man, I mean he gotta be really powerful, I'm just saying, man, but I'm gonna go pray to God on that one, man. I've been reading my Bible last 2 weeks. I'm gonna have to talk to God about that. That's all good.
I love it. See, I hit you with a question. Hey, it's probably a first in radio history. I hit you with a question that you got to go back and pray about it, bro. Like, that is beautiful. Beautiful.
I had to go talk to the source, though. I said, woo, bro.
I love it. Hey, before I let you go, I want you to be able to say, for all the people out there that will be adding you on Instagram and supporting your book, I want you to, say what you want to say to them right now. We got thousands of listeners from all across the globe, so, hey, the floor is yours, my friend.
Man, listen, man, my name is Tony Snow. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I love where I'm from. I just love people. I mean, I really love people. I love sports. I've been hooping my whole life, and I love being a father, man. I wrote this story for the voiceless fathers, man. You guys gonna understand how we feel, so go cop that. But most importantly, man, you can always inbox me. I'm a human being first. Humanity wins. I'm an Air Force veteran, so I see it from a different perspective. So you gotta rock with me, man. That's all. Just rock with me. If you don't like something, that's cool. I ain't mad at you.
There you go. And wait for part 2 where he's gonna reveal who's gonna play him in the upcoming movie, Embrace Fatherhood.
Man.
Hey, listen, hey Tony, we're gonna do a whole casting call, bro. It's about to go. We're about to make this go viral, bro. We're about to turn this into a big deal.
Absolutely, man. Listen,
hashtag Embrace Fatherhood. That's what it's all about, bro. There you go.
Absolutely,
there you go.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I wanna thank you for giving me some game this hour. And I feel like not only is the book gonna be worth the purchase, the journey is gonna be even more special because watching it grow, evolve, getting into the hands of men and also women, because I feel like women need to go buy this book to see how the men are feeling and for them to get some game on whatever it is they need to feel after reading it. So I think it's important for people of all races, men, women, everybody to go get it, support it, and just pay attention. Because right now, my man Tony's giving you the short game. That book is about to give you a long, elongated game as far as what we need to do to be able to embrace fatherhood. So there you go. Commercial right there. There you go. For free.
Commercial.
There you go. There you go. Tony, I appreciate you, man. I need all my people out there that is listening, people in the chat room, people on the line, people out there. Go follow my man Tony Snow on Instagram, Tony Snow SR. Appreciate you, bruh. Hashtag Embrace Fatherhood.
Absolutely, man. Brother, from the bottom of my soul, once again, man, thank you so much for having me on your platform. Brother, you didn't have to do this for me, man, but, I don't think it was a coincidence, man. We vibed tonight. I think the people are definitely happy, man, and thank you, brother. I'm really humbled by it now. Real talk.
Part two is coming, man. Part 2 is coming.
It's coming, baby.
It's coming. We got it. We got this.
It's coming, man.
We got this.
I'm coming out there next time, man.
Hey, there you go. There you go. We got this.
I got you, man.
We got this. Tony, appreciate you, brother. Be safe, be easy, and take care of the fam, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Hey, man, likewise, my guy. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. That is the author extraordinaire. This man does it all. Tony Snow, Nexxlegacy Radio.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.